Pyewacket was actually a film I found new at a pawn shop for very cheap and originally thought about flipping it on eBay. I do some occasional flipping to help fund my movie collecting habits, but something about Pyewacket made me want to keep it and check it out, and I'm glad I did. Pyewacket from 2017 is directed by MacDonald and is about a girl named Leah, played by Nicole Munoz, an angsty teenager, into the occult not far after her father dies. Her mom decides to uproot them and move hours away from her school and friends, and their relationship isn't exactly the best to begin with. After a nasty fight, Leah decides to practice some black magic to get back at her mom when she summons Pyewacket, who begins to torment the household. Honestly, what surprised me the most was the character development. The film has some rich characters, and Leah's angst and frustrations make clear sense for her actions and her thinking. One which felt like a little bit of a cop-out for the plot, but mostly you could understand why the character was doing what she's doing. I also love how they built the dynamic between her and her mother, who is played by Laurie Holden. Both leads give fantastic performances that help sell their relationship. The story also does a decent job at building her friendships to help fuel that tension between her and her mom on this abrupt move. This is a fast-paced film that uses its time wisely, so when the spookiness happens, it feels earned. But honestly, it's not the bulk of the film. There's a mystery as to what's going to happen that did go a different way than I thought it would. I'll give props to the ending of this film. It's a pretty ballsy finish. Outside of that, I do like some of the subtle haunts of the film. Not really until the end does it become upfront. It really uses the mental state of its main characters to sell the horror along with some decent imagery to help further it. There's subtle moments in the background that could easily go unnoticed, and the few apparent scenes are pretty well done to be pretty effective. Now, this film is guilty of doing something I hate in most movies, which is casting adults to play children. While Nicole Munoz does look fitting as maybe a senior, the rest look more like college students. It's just a big pet peeve of mine that just always takes me out of the experience. Most of the film is thankfully just Leah and her mother, but there are scenes with her friends where I'm just like, hey, you're not a teenager. The effects are pretty well done and the creature at the end looks great, but the cinematography is pretty basic. Nothing looks bad or poorly framed, nothing is really out of focus, and the lighting is pretty serviceable. When you do something well but not exceptional, then it becomes unnoticeable. And that's where a lot of the technical aspects lean here. From sound, editing, cinematography, and direction, it's all pretty unnoticeable. The strongest suits is the story and performances to help bring to life the characters with some well executed moments. It's a solid, shorter horror film that I would definitely recommend checking out, and I'm giving it a 7 out of 10.